What's up, everyone, and welcome to HBCU 101. I'm your host, Jaleel Thurman. HBCU 101 is a show that will take all over the nation, give you the ins and outs of HBCUs with a taste of that HBCU flavor. On today's episode of HBCU 101, we sit down with a bison that is perfecting your smile. But before we get to that, let's check out our HBCU news and see what's buzzing in our community with Tyler Carr.
Okay, thanks, Jaleel. Recently 8 HBCU students representing institutions like Tougaloo, Tuskegee, FAMU, the University of Virgin Islands, and Xavier University, they visited Capitol Hill to advocate for sexual and reproductive rights through the Beyond the Sheets initiative. They were engaging with lawmakers like Representative Ayanna Pressley and even leader Hakeem Jeffries. Hey, we love to see it. Political activism with our HBCU students. Let's get back now to HBCU 101 with Jaleel Thurman.
All right, now for today's guest, many of you know him for just having big dreams, while others know him for helping bring some of the prettiest teeth to some of your favorite celebrities. HBCU 101 would love to welcome Howard University alum 2 times and owner of Art of Aesthetics Dental, my guy, Dr. Quodarrius Toney, also known as Dr. Q.
What's up, brother?
What's up, baby?
How you doing?
I'm good.
It's good to see you, man.
Nah, a pleasure all mine. It's nice to have a bison kind of join us every now and then.
I thank you so much for having me.
Nah, the pleasure. Now, look, you coming from Memphis.
Yes.
You coming from the South, Memphis, Tennessee, Howard University. Now, growing up, you made a promise to yourself and your mother that you'd be a doctor one day.
I did.
Was Howard University, did you get there because of the dental program or anything like that? How did you get from Memphis to DC?
To DC. Actually, funny enough, I had a full ride to Ole Miss.
Okay.
That's like oil and water, right? Ole Miss is like the most conservative school there is, right?
Yeah.
In Oxford, Mississippi. And I was thinking I was going there. And then I had a mentor, and he was like, "You going to Ole Miss? You sure you want to go there?" And honestly, I did not know anything about HBCUs like that. Only thing I knew about was TSU, right? We just went down there for homecoming, you know? And so my mentor was like, "You should check out Howard, X, Y, and Z." And I actually missed the application, so I wrote a letter saying like, "Hey, I missed the application. Here are my records. This is why I want to attend this school." And they accepted me and gave me a full ride. So Howard ended up just falling into my lap. And it was such a blessing, bro. Like it was like the most amazing blessing that could have ever happened to me.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that blessing. What were some of the reasons why you wanted to go to Howard, and then how was your experience?
Right. So I guess once I started to learn about HBCUs, I learned about the dope people that went to Howard, right? And even now we have so much great people like Taraji B. Henson. We have just everybody that went to Howard was really influential. Yeah. And I knew that God had something great for me. And I was like, how about I take off and cultivate myself and really find out who I am as a person, what are my morals, and outside of my parents, you know, like your parents teach you everything, but learning for yourself who you are is it's a whole nother level. And DC and Howard cultivated that, and it made me love being black. You know, I'm from the South. I went to school with like half black, half white people, but I never really knew about like Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Trinidadian. Like I learned about those things at Howard, and I was like, oh my gosh, there are so many different types of black people. And when you come from the South, you know, we you know, it's just different. So once I got to DC, I'm like, oh, this is dope. This is phenomenal. It was great. It was great.
That's the one thing you'll learn at a HBCU, right? It's like you from where you from, so you like, oh, I know black people.
I know black.
Right?
Yeah.
But then when you get to an HBCU, that's when you're like, oh, wait a minute. It's different kinds of black people. Right?
And it's established black people.
Established black people. You know, I know when I got to Virginia State, that was my first time leaving really. You know, I've traveled a lot of the world, but like really to be around people. That I was like, oh, wow. Like, okay.
And they're doing it.
And they doing it. Or like you meet people that have these bigger dreams than you and they're black and you're like, oh, okay.
Because sometimes at your hometown, it just seems crazy to everyone.
Correct.
But now you get to Howard, everybody's class president, everybody got 4.0s. You know, like it's just, when I got to Howard, it really opened my mind as to the different possibilities that are available to us all. And you just gotta, keep showing up for yourself.
Yep.
So
and let's talk about like Howard. Howard, it's also, it's the Mecca, it's this, it's that. It's this prestigious institution.
The most prestigious.
All right, hey, man, your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. All right.
Yeah.
But let's talk about why you decided to not only stay there for undergrad, but then also pursue dental. And why dental and not another field in the medical field? Like, what was it about dental that intrigued you the most?
So I think the first thing was the Howard connection. So I'm a double bison, graduated from Howard, HU 17, HU CD 21.
Okay.
And after I graduated from undergrad, I knew how important it was to, number one, have people surrounded by me who really believed in me and who was going to pour into me. And just being at Howard, we believe in our people. We believe in our education, So Howard, they accepted me right off the bat. They were like, you went to Howard, I'm accepting you. Why? Because number one, you have the grades, and we believe in our professors. We believe in our students. And I got accepted to other schools, but Howard just was that one. And then while I was in undergrad, I think this is a cheat code I think everybody should have. If you're looking to get into any type of field, get you a mentor, because they can show you the mistakes that they've made on their journey, so you don't make those same mistakes, right? So when I was looking to figure out what type of doctor I wanted to be, I thought it was going to be an OBGYN at one point. Okay. I helped deliver a baby so beautiful. Her name was Scholar. And I felt like that was it. And then I ran into dentistry. And after I shadowed a few different doctors, I was like, this is it. And dentistry, because number one, it's an art.
Yes.
And I'm able to create. And outside of me being able to create, I can also create in my own space. I have such an artistic mind that I want, like, if y'all ever come to the office, Art of Aesthetics, it is phenomenal, mind-blowing. And it just allows me to be in my own vibe and have the ability to create and let my brain be free, And dentistry was my escape. And I felt like it was like the most thing, because there are people who go through car accidents, trauma, domestic violence, where when they come to my office, now is my time to really help them see themselves in a better light, And that just really made my career be my passion. And now it don't even feel like work, know?
And that's the best, is when you're happy with what you're doing, you're enjoying what you're doing, and you're creating so much impact in what you're doing. We'll talk about that more after the break. It's Jalil, it's Dr. Q. You all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Holla back.
Welcome back to HBCU 101. It's Jalil, and I got a bison in the building, my guy, Dr. Q.
What's up, brother?
Look, Doc, before we get back to
it,
to doctoring, right, we got a little HBCU trivia for you, all right?
Okay.
True or false?
Oh.
All right. 50% of African Americans have earned their degrees. African American dentists have earned their degrees from HBCUs. True or false?
True.
It's false. It's 70%.
Oh, I knew it was more. So I was like, okay, I get that. I'll take that.
I ain't mad.
That's good.
If I would have said at least 50.
But that's why I knew most of people that look like me that are doctors come from HBCUs.
Gotcha.
That's just
what it is. Now let's talk about that. Earlier before the break, you was just talking about at your dental office that is really creative and you're really about it for real. But we also talked a little bit during the break about how it's important to do a good job, and do it right. Then there's bad jobs and good jobs. Like, walk us through, like, what are some of the things that you think about when as a doctor, when you're trying to make sure you do a good job?
So, in my field, every person is different, right? When we're talking about bone structure, teeth structure, temporomandibular joints, muscles of mastication, figuring out a person's age, sex, skin tone, personality, facial aesthetics, which help lead to us creating something that's specifically fits you.
Right.
Because what fits you might not fit her. You get what I mean?
Okay.
So I think this is what differentiate good from great or bad from good. You know, it's really honing into what this person needs specifically, because we are all, God made us different, you know? And when he made us different, a true artist has to see those differences and see what can fit here and how to create something that brings the harmony and brings it all together, you know?
I agree. And I love that, because I think that if somebody gonna be working on certain areas of me, especially my mouth, I need intentionality.
Yes, very intentional. Very intentional.
And that's what it sounds like. You're very intentional about that. the environment that you create.
And number one, keeping all of your patients healthy above all. Before we even move to aesthetics, let's make sure your healthcare is to a certain standard, you know? Make sure you don't have any cavities, root canals, cleaning, skeleton root plantings. All of these things need to be handled while also focusing on aesthetics. So you can have functionality and aesthetics at the same time.
Now, speaking of art of aesthetics, dental, right? There's so many different brands under that. One of the brands, which I think is interesting, is your essential toothbrush.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I really want to talk about it because I think you always hear. Well, one, I want to ask you, how important is the toothbrush?
Then the toothbrush is important because, and fun fact that I started the company in dental school.
Okay.
And the toothbrush is so important because it helps with education. We have a nonprofit as well, Art of Aesthetics community. And all of this come together to, number one, bring understanding as to oral home care. Brushing twice a day, flossing once a day, seeing a dentist twice a year, making sure you're doing these things to make sure you're healthy. And the essential toothbrush is so important because, number one, it's go green, right? So everything is made from all biodegradable products. And it's electric. So we are actually removing 99% of plaque and biofilm while flossing.
Now, what was the thought process behind this toothbrush? Was it, you know what, there's toothbrushes in the store that I don't like? Was it, you know, I want to create just a product that serves the community differently? Like, what was that made you be like, you know what, I'm going to create something and make it essential for the people?
Well, let's say everything about Art of Aesthetics is fly, right? So we wanted to create something that embodies the brand and something that we can be like, oh, this is dope, this is cool, which is why we're very inclusive as a company. I went to Howard. I believe in it. Like everything, diversity, inclusion, and outreach, right? So we have 3 different toothbrushes here. And they're all different shades of us, you know? We have 1, 2, we have like a mocha, a chocolate, and like a nude, you know? And all 3 really show like the inclusivity or like the variety of Black that you can be, you know? And I think it's dope. It's super dope. And it's one of my favorite products.
Nah, I love it. You got one for the light skin.
One for the caramel and one for the dark chocolate.
Come on now. That's exactly what we need. That's
exactly it.
Now, with your company, you've been able to get mentorship back in Memphis. But then you're able to start your own practice here in Atlanta. I want to talk about it, but we'll talk about it more after the break. It's Jalil. It's Dr. Q. We'll be back after the break. Peace.
Time now for Did You Know? Brought to you by HBCU Pride Nation. Did you know over half of all African American professionals are graduates of HBCUs?
Welcome back to HBCU 101. It's Jalil and it's Dr. Q. Now, Doc, before the break, we was getting real deep in the weeds of teeth, toothbrushes, you know, all these things. But I want to take it just a little bit back, right? Now, you graduate, you go back home to Memphis, working under your mentor, and really you create impact there. So, I want to say, how was that? Going back home, create impact in your community to show your success you left. And then B, what was the thought process in starting your own practice here in Atlanta?
Oh, okay. So this is my first advice I want to give to anybody that's watching. Don't feel bad when you complete school and you got to move back home like a year or 2. I think we all have this notion that, I can't go back home. It's like a step back, but it was a step back for me to leap forward, right? And me going back home, I was able to work under my mentor, which was phenomenal, right? And learn. Sometimes we have to be, you have to be in your learning era. And in that servant era. And that was my era for really sitting back and really cultivating my craft. And as I did that, I created this impact in Memphis where I showed anybody that looked like me, like you can do it as well, you know? And it was phenomenal. And like Howard stands on leadership, excellence, truth, and service. So, which is why, like, even throughout the Art of Aesthetics, we have all of these community efforts as to how we're going to give back. I think in the year of 2023, we gave up like $70,000 back into the community, which was, it's more than I could ever dream of, you know, my literally 2 years outside of dental school. But as I moved back to Memphis, I started working And I started getting good at it, you know?
Yeah.
And as I got better and better and better, people started to notice, you know? And it was just like a seed planted, and it comes with time.
Yeah.
And then you start to sprout. And as I did, people started to come to me to get their teeth done. And then people start, oh, he does great veneers, you know? He's taking care of people's teeth well. And it just started to go from there. So I'm from Memphis, and I have 2 little brothers, and they're like 7 and like 12. And I'm like, I want to be in their life. I want to be able to go to a basketball game, go to an honor society program. So I was like, what is the nearest city that I can go to and commute back to Memphis easily? And Atlanta was it, right? I remember coming to Atlanta when I was younger. And honestly, it's also Black Hollywood. I know that people here support one another.
Yeah.
They support entrepreneurs, people that are really being excellent in what they do. And I knew that this place could be great. And another tidbit, you know, I'm from Memphis. Our airport is this small. So it was so hard for people to travel to come see me to get work done.
Gotcha.
So once I moved to Atlanta, it's flights going in and out every single day. Oh. So it just made me more accessible to my patients.
Gotcha.
And that's why I'm so grateful for things like social media and different influential people that have come to me, because now I have a reach you know, I think I had a patient from like Jamaica call for a consult recently.
Yeah.
Or like Trinidad call, and it was just amazing just being able to have this reach, and people can travel back to Atlanta to get treatment done. Sometimes God will give you a vision, but sometimes you cannot see the entire journey.
Yep.
And as you're on this journey and it gets cloudy,
yep,
you have to get still and listen to his voice, you know, and understand that he gave you the vision for a reason. Yeah. But he didn't say it was going to be easy, you know? Yeah. So it's been, when I say a journey, outside of me being a business owner, a doctor, owning a toothbrush company, being a creator, all of these different hats at once, where we're trying to create like a legacy, you know? And I think that's something Howard just instilled. And back to the HBCU, creating this legacy that can withstand the test of time, you know? And I would say it's been a journey, a long journey. And it was rough. It was rough at times, you know, because anybody that's starting a business knows that you're taking a risk, you know? Yeah. You're taking a risk, but it's important, like, if you don't take risks now, when are you going to take them? You know what I mean? If nobody believes in, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. So I literally was like, I heard the voice and I followed it. And I'm still following it to this day. And even being the first Black doctor in my family, whatever the case may be, we're really just going with the flow, one step at a time, and just trusting the process. And know it's going to work out for your good in the end. That's it. And I think Howard also taught us to be excellent, you know? Yeah. So I'm not going to do it until I do it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing that one thing I always tell people is that, like, I feel like God put things on your heart, right? That's his way of talking to you. Yes. Earlier you mentioned like good, bad, or great and bad. And I feel like the difference between mediocre people and regular people is that they act on it, but it also understand that they may not, just because you act on it on day one and then you don't see anything from it, it's okay. You got to keep going, because eventually it's going to blossom and boom. And like you said, right, like starting that was probably spicy in the beginning, right? Oh, you got to put in that work. Come on now. You got to put in that work. But you've been able to see a lot of fruits from your labor, right? Yes. And so let's talk about some of the people you've been able to work with. I mean, not only have you been able to create impact in the community, right? You've also been able to create impact globally, right? I mean, you worked with anybody from Glorilla, Daisy Banks, David Devado. Like, it's just so many people that you work with. Like, for you, like, walk us through that feeling of emotion, of that impact that you've been able to have.
So I don't know if I love baseball, and you know, when you the batter up, you know, you can watch all the time, you know, but you have to be prepared for when God gives you that opportunity, right? And when he gives you that opportunity, you need to knock it out the park, you know. And this is what you've been practicing for the entire time, you know. And so when those people came to me, I learned this already. Yeah. I already knew what to do. I already knew how to create something that we all can be proud of, you know? And so once it came, I was like, it's your time. It's time to knock it out the park. And when it did, it was challenging. It was. But it's like, it's worth it, you know? And it's just a good feeling when some people can see what you're passionate about, you know? And honestly, even before they came, I was so happy at what I was doing in perfecting my craft that even when somebody else comes, it's going to be even greater. You know what I mean? So it's good.
Because you love it. And I believe Cardi B shouted you out too.
Yeah. So her and Glorilla are super close. So all of them were together saying like, oh, he's doing his thing. So I really appreciate it. You know, it was dope. It was dope.
Now, before we let you go, we play a game with all of our guests.
Okay.
I got 5 on it. All right?
I got 5 on it.
5. You choose who or what or this or that.
Okay.
You got 5 on. All right. Now we ain't really talk too much about it. You know, you're part of 1911, so you know what I'm saying. So we gonna talk Greek life. Who you got 5 on? All right. You got 5 on the Greeks at Tennessee State.
Oh.
Or you got 5 on the Greeks out here in Atlanta at the AUC.
I got 5 on the Greeks at TSU.
Okay.
Tennessee State. I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
And it's only because I have so many aunties and uncles who I grew up with, and they really were pivotal in the community and myself. And they were fly. Yeah. I'm talking like fly, kicking it. Like I got 5 on TSU. Yeah.
He said he putting his 5 on TSU.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to the Tigers. It's Jalil. It's Dr. Q. You all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Time now for your HBCU Wall Street 101s. April is Minority Health Month. More than 16% of those who identify as Black or African American have been diagnosed with a mental health condition in 2023. And it's estimated that only 1 in 3 of those individuals will receive mental health care. Today's Brain Love Spotlight falls on Janine Anderson. She serves as the Senior Director of Health Equity at Power to Decide. She's a proud graduate of Tennessee State University. She's the visionary behind the Beyond the Sheets initiative, a student-led program addressing sexual and reproductive health needs at 5 different historically Black colleges and universities. From Tennessee State University, today's Brain Love Spotlight is Janine Anderson.
And that's it for today's episode of HBCU 101. I got to give a special thank you and shout out to my guy, Dr. Q, for coming through, giving us a scope on everything from Howard University, being a dentist, the toothbrush, why I need to brush front to back, left to right, all in between. All right, listen. For the entire crew, it's Jalil. We'll see you next week.